YN's POV. I stare at the plastic digital thermometer in my hand. Then I look at the warm, unscrewed light bulb resting right next to it under his pillow. I press the button on the thermometer. It beeps cheerfully. The tiny screen flashes in the dim light. 104.8 degree Cav. Jungkook, I say, my voice terrifyingly calm. According to this, your brain is currently melting out of your ears. You are medically deceased. The heavy silence in the room is deafening. I look down at him. The sick, pathetic, dying Victorian prince act evaporates from his face in real time. The glassy, half-lidded look disappears, replaced by a sharp, entirely too awake, and dangerously dark glint in his doe eyes. A low, raspy chuckle vibrates in his chest, rumbling right against mine. Okay, look, he murmurs, not sounding entirely apologetic. In my defense, the light bulb was already warm. You faked a near-fatal fever, I gasp, shoving his chest to get up. You made me feed you soup. I massaged your scalp. I was mentally drafting your eulogy, you absolute psychopath. Hey, I really do have a cold, he argues, but his hands, which were supposedly too weak to work 10 minutes ago, grip my waist like iron vices, completely refusing to let me scramble off the mattress. Let me go! I practically shriek, my face burning with a mixture of profound embarrassment and furious adrenaline. I'm going to commit a felony. I am actually going to suffocate you with this duvet. You can't, he says smoothly, his thumbs pressing firmly into the sides of my waist. Let go of me, but he doesn't. Instead, the playful, bickering energy shifts. It shifts so fast it gives me whiplash. With one sudden, effortless movement, Jungkook rolls over, taking me completely by surprise. The mattress dips wildly, the heavy comforter tangles around our legs, and before I can even process the change in gravity, my back hits the mattress. He is hovering directly over me. My breath leaves my lungs in a sharp, quiet gasp. He has one arm braced on the pillow right next to my head, and his other hand reaches up, gently but firmly pinning both of my wrists right above my head. His chest is heaving slightly, hovering just an inch above mine. He is so close I can feel the heat radiating off his skin. He isn't smiling anymore. Jungkook, I breathe out, my heart hammering so violently against my ribs I'm genuinely terrified it's going to bruise. You're right, he whispers. I lied. My fever broke 3 hours ago. Then why? Because, he cuts me off, his dark eyes tracing the frantic pulse jumping at the base of my throat before slowly meeting my gaze. If I told you I was fine, you would have gone back to your room. You would have put your headphones on, locked your door, and we would have gone back to pretending we don't look at each other when the other isn't paying attention. My stomach drops into my shoes. A wild electric swarm of butterflies erupts in my chest. I don't know what you're talking about, I stammer, entirely breathless. I try to tug my wrists free, but his grip is warm and absolute. Don't lie to me, love, he murmurs, leaning down until his lips are practically brushing the shell of my ear. The smell of his cologne and the warmth of his breath sends a full-body shiver straight down my spine. I see the way you look at me in the kitchen. I know why you steal my hoodies instead of wearing your own. And I know you felt it too. Just now. He shifts his weight slightly, leaning his face back so he can look dead into my eyes. The proximity is suffocating. It's mind-twisting. I didn't fake a fever just to get soup, YN, he whispers, his gaze dropping heavily to my lips. His thumb lightly brushes against my pinned pulse point. I faked it because I needed an excuse to finally do this, and I was too much of a coward to do it sober. He leans in, his nose brushing against mine, the heat of his mouth a millimeter away from my own. Tell me to stop. He breathes against my lips, his voice tight with anticipation. Tell me you don't want this, and I'll get off you right now. I swear. I open my mouth to speak, my brain screaming at me to push him away, to protect our roommate boundary, to save myself from the absolute ruin that is John Jungkook. But my eyes flutter shut, and my hands, trapped in his, instinctively curl around his fingers. I take a shaky breath in, and right as I whisper,